Burton is industry leader by a lot, over 8 times.
Okay.
We've all established that.
Yeah.
Burton's direction for the industry conveniently falls in line with their patents. Step-ons and in face masks, the goggles. That's good business. You know what I mean? Marketing that changes the entire landscape of snowboarding.
I still don't see a problem. Continue.
Are you getting?
Well, let me ask you this:
Your
you in
problem
Step-ons?
statement is a
No.
monopoly. Are you talking?
Yeah,
are
I'm
you going
still
at a
I'm still
monopoly?
trying to figure out the problem.
Your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. Are you in? Well, let's say that. Are you in step-ons or are you in straps?
No, they're not for me. They're
Okay. Would they ever be for you?
No. Maybe when I'm old and I can't bend over and strap in. Yeah. Like
Okay.
they could be if I'm just like
Step-ons
old.
or straps?
I have step-on split on my split setup,
Okay.
which I enjoy, and I have ridden them quite a bit.
Okay. Jeremy, I know your point of view on this, but just for everyone listening,
Straps.
straps. Okay. You're looking at somebody who's trying to make bindings right now. Going to binding factories and saying, hey, look, do you make ladder straps? Do you make ratchets? They're saying, don't you want step-ons, right? As a new brand entering the market who doesn't have a license for Burton or Nadecker, it's extremely difficult. What's the cheapest step-on you guys offer?
Oh God.
$280?
Yeah.
What's a
around
pair of
300
boots?
price point.
$400?
A little less than that. Threes. Yeah.
$700. $700. So coming back to what a snowboard should cost as a consumer, we should establish that as an industry. Like, for a snowboard, what should it cost? As Burton pushes everyone towards step-ons, that price goes up really fast. $700 just for boots and bindings right now, versus Sorels and old metal bindings. That's $120. That's $240. That's the opposite of accessibility for price to get into snowboarding. Now, go ahead, hit me.
I was just going to get your problem statement. So the promotion of step-ons is driving the price of snowboarding up to participate.
The problem is, the participation is based on accessibility, price accessibility. Step-ons currently aren't that accessible to the masses, right? And for Burton to push it, like, let's say I don't even know. What do you think? I would say the last probably 3 social media posts that Burton's pushing are probably step-on related. So this is an industry leader pushing the whole industry into step-on, something that's not price accessible at the moment, right? That's a problem. No? Yes?
I don't see. Continue though. I want to finish round circle and then I'll chime in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the question is, it comes back to what should a snowboard cost?
Dude, the customer has more choices than ever.
Exactly. The customer can buy whatever they want.
Between the secondhand market and everything, like if you're going to put the skate ethos to it, like someone who wanted to go and snowboard for the first time and is being price sensitive, they're on Facebook Marketplace. Like they're on Craigslist, they're on KSL. Like there are more options and more inventory out there to the point where it's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that product is so scarce that they're like, dude, I gotta buy a step on if I'm gonna try snowboarding. It's too expensive for me to get into it because of it.
No. So,
But to get into, so we're talking about a couple things here. So now the way I'm seeing it is you have accessibility to snowboarding by way of technology. It makes it easier. It makes the experience better. Now you've took that and you're trying to Caleb's point, let's take that into account now. That infects that whole scenario. Now you've just upsold this consumer. Then you have the Facebook Marketplace user that's like, they're not even looking at the step-ons necessarily. But to your point now, plenty of product. Why are we flooding the market with the technology that's, I mean, I guess, and I'm just being a devil's advocate here. This is, I'm not having an opinion.
Can I be a third?
I'm just kind of putting it all together here.
I'm just going to weigh in as a third party, no affiliation with Burton, no affiliation with step-ons, don't give a shit.
Well, you are, though.
Ride bindings.
Union's got step-ons, and they're licensed by Burton.
Okay, I'm not riding them. I'm not. But
how much would it cost to ride a pair?
They don't ask me to do that, and it would. I just wouldn't ride them because they're not for me. But the point being is that, like, you know, what is it? 90% of the snowboarders go once or twice a year and are looking for a night. They just go up the lift and they come down and they don't know what Videograss is or who Jeremy Jones is. They're just looking to go on vacation and go snowboard. And for their experience, what they're looking like the step-on experience for a lot of people that are just recreational snowboarders, they really enjoy that experience. And so for like, I think about me as a consumer, as a person who rides dirt bikes, right? I'm not connected. I don't know anything. And if there's a product that enhances my experience, I'm happy to pay for that because I like it. And so it's not like you're making it seem like the consumer doesn't have a choice. Like there's so many options. They can buy whatever they want. They also tend to be like when we post about them, our listeners, I'll see a million. I ride those. I love them. I think they're great bindings. Like there's people that ride step-ons and they love them. And I don't see the problem in that. That's my take. Is
there's not. People riding step-ons, there's not an issue. The issue is Burton marketing it as step-ons is the absolute, and that strap-ons are secondary. And so, listen, if you want to ride strap-ons, if you want to ride no bindings, if you ride anything, you should be accessible to do any of that.
Yeah.
You should. That's good. That's snowboarding. That's what I'm for. I'm not trying to disrupt by saying step-ons are bad. I'm actually doing the opposite. Step-ons are disrupting the strap market, and it's funny because it's also closely knit with the narrative of these patents and accessibility that such brand owns. So, for example, as a startup brand, I can't go to a factory and have a step-on, nor do I want to, but I couldn't do that. So not me, but any brand that comes beside me, next to me, after me, are they going to have access to step-ons?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want as a brand. Like Burton was started in a garage as a small brand, and they worked their way up, and they became Burton by growing and building their business as humans do, as a collective that takes a lot of energy.
Okay.
And that's okay to do that.
We agree on that.
And you have the opportunity to do that as well.
We agree on that.
Yeah.
Free market, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
The problem is they're saying that it's more convenient, right? And this is like Nidecker's got to step on too. So let's say what is the sell with step-ons?
They're convenient. You don't have to bend over and strap in. You just get off the lift, click them in.
And we all align that that's a good thing.
For the person that's looking for that, sure.
I'd reposition one point that it's like, let's go back to experience. Like,
absolutely.
It's not even really about convenience or about performance necessarily. Like this innovation is about changing someone's experience of getting on snow.
Absolutely.
And like convenience, I think, sells it a little bit short. And like, it's not like you've seen, Burton still offers more performance tiers outside of step-on and the strap line.
Absolutely.
Than they do step-on, right?
And they're amazing. I love Burton. Like I said, and for everybody, the history, I used to get flow from Burton and Krista. Like Burton is great. I'm not saying that I'm anti-Burton at all. I'm saying that I feel like they're down bad. I think Montec and Dope are eating their lunch on direct-to-consumer clothing. And I think they're leaning on their patents as a way to stay stable in snowboarding. And I would urge them, like, you need to be responsible because the next 10 years of what we're looking at, is it good for the industry as a whole? Because you're the industry leader by a long shot. 800 million versus 100 million. They're not even comparable. Me, I'm a blip on the radar. But if I can't go and make bindings, I don't exist at all. And if I can't get a patent, if I can't get licensing for step-ons and factories don't make straps anymore because no one's using them, there's only 5 people making snowboard bindings. You know what I mean? Or licensing that. Like you go into Shields, how many small binding companies are using it?
I have no idea.
It's Flux, Nitro, Union, Burton are the binding ones right now.
Cool. And it's been around for like 10 years, so there's not a lot of new brands entering the market. Binding brands. Okay. Like a handful. Why, you think? Barrier of entry?
Like making bindings and selling them is pretty hard, though.
It's not. People told me that. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to the factory and I'm doing it. I'm making it. Spark R&D, they're doing it, and they're doing some of it in the U.S. You know what I mean? It's not hard. We're told it's being hard, but there's a reason why the thumb is getting pushed down, and it's similar to why Montec and Dope are making outerwear, because you start doing it, you can go direct to consumer, you make it more accessible. All of a sudden, you lose control of the narrative, and I think that's what a lot of people are scared. I actually think it's better for snowboarding, and it's better for the customer to have more options than less options. And what I'm seeing is it's polarizing to 5 brands versus 50 or 60 brands, which we had 20 years ago. Everyone else is saying, well, the experience was bad. We broke ankles. We hyperextended ACLs, all sorts of stuff. That's part of the experience. I don't want it nerfed down to only a good experience. Snowboarding is both good and bad, and I want to experience the whole thing. I don't want it censored to step on at the resort lift line for 3 hours. That's amusement park ride to me. And that's my point of view on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Fish, go ahead.
I'm still trying to get back to like the problem statement.
Yeah, it's still like you can still go make bindings. Like you're saying
you can't. I'm telling you, right?
You can go make bindings. That's
the problem.
You literally can. Like, what do you think? Burton had to figure out how to make bindings and then make it and then get a patent. And they went through all the fucking steps and they did it. And now they're an industry leader. And you can go do that. You can go to a factory. You can figure out an engineer. You can take all the steps. You can do all the fucking hardships that Burton did. Nobody's fucking stopping you. That's the problem. Like, you're making a problem that's not a fucking problem. You're making it Burton's problem. It's not fucking Burton's problem. It's your problem. You want to make bindings? Figure out how to engineer it. Figure out the factories. You're fucking blaming other people for non-existent fucking problems, dude.
No,
I think the reason I wouldn't make...
I make stuff. I know how to make stuff.
If
like,
somebody weren't to enter the binding market
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, it would be because there's so little market share. Like, you have
There's
Union...
it's growing.
You
It's
have
not.
Burton... So, no, market share is just
Yeah.
a percentage.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Union and Burton, 80%.
vast majority is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So if you say they're 80%, just as a number to throw out,
Yeah.
you have a lot of bindings in that 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you going to do to differentiate yourself in that 20% to offer something different there?
I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to offer anything different.
But that's my point. That's why
Yeah.
I wouldn't enter the binding market right now as just a random guy who's going to make bindings. Like, I don't see opportunity there. That's why I wouldn't do it.
No, there's plenty of opportunity. Because what's the cheapest binding you can get right now? Of something that snowboard culture has been like, oh, this is cool, that you would see in a snowboard video. Not Amazon, something that's like, hey.
I have no idea. But so are you trying to say that your goal is to go just make a cheap set of bindings? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm saying that I want to make snowboarding more accessible because snowboarding's only as cool as the people in it. And if the people can only get in it if they become of means in their middle and higher class, it doesn't become as cool as skateboarding.
Right.
It's less
Accessibility is like, problem is one
Yeah,
sorry,
hit me.
product is one part of accessibility.
What's
There
the
are
rest?
Way more factors as far as
Yeah.
cost and where you live. Like the cost to participate. If you're going to compare snowboarding to another sport, like we all want to talk about skateboarding, like, it's a lot closer to golf than it is to skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like you can get secondhand golf clubs. That's great, but
Fair.
you got to live near a golf course. Golf course costs so much. The nicer golf courses are going to cost more to play at. Like,
100%. But you're talking about doing the activity of snowboarding versus participating in the idea of snowboarding as lore. I know guys that went to a concert. They sat in the nosebleeds. They went to one concert. Chances are they knew every word better than the guy in VIP. The guys in the nosebleeds defined their whole life. They wore the merch. They hung out with the people that went to Sabbath. They listened to all the music. The whole thing. Their life was defined by that one experience. Snowboarding, let's say you watch a video. You can become a snowboarder by watching a video. You don't have to be on hill 300 days a year waiting in the lift line to be a snowboarder. The lore of snowboarding is bigger than the activity of doing it. The only problem is the activity of doing it is what makes dollars and what brands promote because they want people on hill with lift tickets, with boots, boards, and bindings new every year to make growth. That's where my issue is like it is accessible. The idea is accessible, especially if the idea is, hey, look, I can get a pair of bindings for $110. All of a sudden, it's more appealing than knowing I got to spend $800 just to maybe get on snow one time a year.